404 program not found. How's it going, everyone? I hope you're doing well this evening. It has been a minute. I know it's later than I normally start, but I was busy. I had to go to the local Warhammer store and give my half of a box to the person I split it with. Or no, I had to give their half of the box that I split it with. And yeah, so I didn't leave there until like 6:45. Then I just got here, ate dinner, and actually watched a streamer that I do enjoy. But Shovel, good to see you. Table, good to see you. Taylor, good to see you as well. Yes, they are just primed black right now. So we got to completely bring these guys up to the standard that I got to do. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I cannot say. If I did get this box early, I was asked by the store to not post or say anything about it on social media. Not that you know who I am, although you can see my face, and that you fully know where I live. I'm just doing it so Saturday, if I'm not busy, I will be busy doing that. Maybe building the Armageddon box that I might or may not have. So. Just shaking up my white paint before I prepare it. Oh, actually, besides white's like the last color I need. I need gray. I forgot. I found out, and I'm sure other people know this as well. Yes, I saw that! They look so good what he did. I'm like super impressed. I mean, that person has been kit bashing and doing stuff like that for a while. But I'm like, damn, that is some good, clean models. He made it look good. Where is my gray? I know I have a gray. There we go. I didn't realize I've seen his content before until I looked at his channel. I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen your content. I love your content. So, for those curious, I'm going to be dry brushing these with uniform gray and then going with a matte white. And I'll try to use speed paints on this a little bit, but we'll see. What's up, Butterscotch? Welcome to stream. Hope you're doing well. Don't mind me. I'm just in the corner. I feel like we're close to finishing these 2,000 points. It's been a minute. What are the speed paints? So, I'm going to be using Grim Black from Army Painter. And then I'm probably going to use Magic Blue as the speed paint. Because for those that know, and I'm not going to explain it, just because I don't want Ando being all that. My chapter is in 2 colors. First company is black and blue. And second on the 10th are those Grey Knights. No, these are Deathwing Knights. They are Dark Angel models. Grey Knight would not look this good. I mean, you could build them as Grey Knights and run them like that, but Grey Knights have no Primaris models. Plus, I don't have an interest in Grey Knights. So, but that's just me personally. Nothing against you if you do or not. Oh, what did you DM me now? That's a little bit down. What did you DM me? Oh, those look so good. I like the last one. Barex Minor. I like that one the most. That reminds me of Creek the most. but it's also blue, and I love blue. Also, why are you just DMing me? You can send that in the gaming chat in Discord. I'd like to see them get a refresh because I've seen some players that play Grey Knights. And all that. All good, Butterscotch. I hope your Wi-Fi does better. But have a good evening and enjoy yourself. I do think they need new models. Honestly, like, screw the thing about them not getting Primaris. They need to get Primaris stuff. Like, doesn't have to be fully Primaris. Just give them some nicer looking models. And don't say, oh, you can just take from, like, the Deathwing or Dark Angels, all that stuff. No. No. I'm not going to spend $80 on a bunch of Deathwing. You can go and make a $60 kit. Less. I prefer less. This brush is too wet. No. It's more satisfying to DM you. Well, I appreciate that. Also, Kitty, it's good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's true. You are right on that. Let's see if I can get this to be the right consistency I want. I'm trying to. I'm working on my dry brushing a little bit more. I might have found the key to it, but maybe not. It's finicky. I find it finicky, and I have to. It's messing up. That's going into recess parts. I mean, they are a popular faction. Like, GW knows they are popular. There is a group for them. I've seen one Grey Knight player, and he has won. Actually, he came close to. No, he did win one tournament I saw him in, and then he came close in another one. So, that's not doing what I want it to do. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, figure out your scheme before, like, putting in a whole bunch of time into an army. Maybe this will work. Show me. I wick off too much paint. I kind of get a little bit of a dry brush, but not much. It's kind of working. It's not hitting the front as much where I want it to. Ugh. No, it's coming through now. It's starting to come through. I'm trying to think. I'm almost wishing I did start streaming earlier today. I could have. Because I had the day off of work because of weather. But I decided to work on some other stuff. Trying to get things out for, let's see. Kitty says, I'm pretty happy with the test model I did, just laying down the metallics on everything that needs it. Nice. This is going to be the first layer of this gray. I've been debating on how I want to do these for a little bit, and I'm like, do I want to dry brush them? Do I just want to put on straight paint and build with the dark layers from there? But I'm like, I think this will make them look so much better. Plus, like, it's a little bit of speed. I am trying to be a little more speedy with some parts of it. Still need some more work on more parts to cover. But now the only unit left with no metallic is a single unit of 10 warriors. Nice. Very nice. Ooh. Forgot to add water to the thing. All good coffee. I saw you earlier over at Rose's channel. Glad you're over there supporting them. They are an amazing creator. I love watching their stuff. I haven't been able to see them at all recently because I can't log into my Twitch. I don't know my Twitch information, so I haven't been able to see them. So seeing them on YouTube was awesome. They are one of the creators I do want to collab with. I put them on a pedestal. They're really good. They're so much better than me, and I don't want to taint their channel with my presence. Have you seen my content? Have you seen what I do on this channel? You see the people I attract? You're all amazing people, by the way. You are all amazing. You're all kooky and interesting. I love it for here. I fear for it in other communities. Soon they'll be painted. Yes, soon. Very soon. You know what? I'm actually going to pull myself up out of the corner real quick. I like being in the corner. Maybe this should be a thing I do more often. There. Yeah. Let's do that. I don't know. I feel like a little crocodile in the corner, just like watching. I'm watching the mouth do its little tail. Oh, Lord. I had the thought of, like, a crocodile watching a bird on the beach, and that's what I'm currently doing to Mouse. Mouse is just minding his business, and I'm watching, like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Perfect. Oh, yeah. Okay. We can work on that. We can make it. Yeah. I haven't seen your content yet. I probably should, Coffee. I don't end up watching a lot of creators. I spend too much time watching shorts or weird little documentaries or like... No, that's about it. Like shorts or documentaries. I don't spend enough time watching other creators, and I probably should. Because there are some amazing creators out there. Small and large. Getting an airbrush really sped up the paint, the priming. You plan to use it for some weapon glow, but the metallics are all painted by hand. Ooh, nice. Dorzo, I listen to books a lot. Yes, I started re-listening to some of the books that I've had. After the talk and talking about so much with Dark Angels and stuff, I'm like, I really should re-listen to some of my stuff, and still doesn't hold up to a candle to where I was. Or, like, to where I was thinking. Do the books still hold up as good as I think they do? That's what I'm trying to say. Good night, Coffee. Enjoy yourself. And, I hope your family is gonna get well soon. I don't really need this guy to be super colorful. The Will of Many is an easy read on the second book now. Ooh, is that another 40k one, or is that not 40k? I probably should read like non-40k stuff. I've been too entrenched in this hobby. Actually, talking about hobbies, I watched a Marvel Crisis game go on. Actually piqued my interest. I'm like, oh, I might have to check out this and see if I'd enjoy it or not. Not that I need another hobby. I already don't give myself enough time to do my other things I want to do. Like, I like a good magic fantasy book. Always like those. Okay, as a first attempt, not bad. Could be better. I'm gonna give that a second to do its thing. I'm gonna move on to another one, and by then I should have figured it out enough that I can go back and add more color. Because that's the other thing. I can go back and add color. Post a picture of the Reanimator. Nothing special yet, but you're excited for when you get around to doing the glowing bits and all that stuff. Ooh, I'll check it out in just a second. You want to do a Con-Optech Doomstalker because it looks like a big Reanimator with a huge gun. Ooh, I'm going to go and I'm going to check out what you were just talking about. Oh! The weird, like, spider-leggy thing. It's a weird mix between, like, a crab and a jellyfish. That's how I look at it. Oh no, what'd you send me now, table? Oh. Interesting. I see that. I mean, you do whatever you want, table. Excuse me, wrong pipe. Oh, I had my first official game of 11th last night. I will say, it's very similar to 10th, but also different at the same time. I have no bad gripes about 11th so far, but again, I've just played one game. I like the changes. It makes me think very differently. Like, I shouldn't have to think differently, but I am thinking differently, if that makes sense. Like, most of the base rules are still there, with some slight modifications, but how I choose to play the army and what my army can do is different. So it's like, oh, I gotta do this. Or it's no longer like with primary, we're not both doing a take and hold. It's you do one mission, you do another, depending on your detachment and army you're playing. It's fun. I like it. I played against a Space Wolf player, someone with many more reps than me underneath his belt. It was 63 or 65 to 100. So actually, I kept up a lot better than I do in regular games. But I was like, holy... I was like, oh Jesus, this is the Space Wolves. I am dealing with true Space Wolves now. Because, silly on me, I left a big gap for a 10-man block of Terminators to come in my home objective on turn 2 and start destroying my army. Yeah, he was playing with 2 10-man squads of Terminators with something Rock Fist is the name of one of them. He's got the ability to throw a hammer, and he's got precision as well. And then the other one, it was the Chapter Master. Which I will say, the Chapter Master is a cool character. But god damn do I hate playing against that model on the tabletop. So it adds one command point. If your opponent uses a command point, it costs them 1 more command point within like 12 inches of that model. So I was like, I can't do anything. Because also on turn 2, he precisioned out Azrael and my lieutenant that was in my Hellblaster squad. So I got nerfed with my ability to make command points very quickly. Yes, Logan Grimnar, thank you. I could not remember that. Yeah, I'd recommend off of stream, obviously, looking at the Dark Tide blog. It's interesting seeing... I'll have to take a look. I feel like a lot of people post things on, like, X or Twitter, and I do not use that. But if it's a whole blog, I can actually probably check it out. But all around, good guy, good game. Even though I felt like I was getting tramped, I did better than I expected. So, I like that a lot. And building up having multiple cards also helps quite a bit. So, like, you still pull 2 cards every turn, but you don't have to, like, you're not just limited to 2. You build up. You can, like, score at max 15 on secondary in 1 turn. And that is really fun to do. I forgot to use my stratagems a lot. I should have. We didn't fully finish the game. We talked through with it. And I ran as Gladius. I think I'm going to do something different than Gladius. This 2,000 point army is a good start. I still like this army and probably would be one that I run again. But now that we're in 11th, I'm probably going to switch some stuff up and make it a little bit more plasma-y. I might lean more into the new Dark Angel detachment that's all plasma. Because I saw that. It automatically adds +1 strength to all your plasma weapons. Then there's some detachments that add another +1 strength. So Hellblasters, if I do it correctly, could have a regular strength 9 weapon or a supercharged strength 10 weapon. Which is good. I do like the new overcharge mechanic where it's no longer just ones that you fail. It's a 1 and a 2. So I like that. I I mean, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. That's just one of those things. I should go through the box, and I probably will tonight. I'll go through this box that I do not have, and I'll see if there's any rules for like Crusade stuff in there, because I do want to know how that runs. For those that have played 11th, what are their thoughts on it? Because I'm curious what the community here thinks. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they did fix AdMac points or not. I don't play AdMac, so I don't know what they've minused and what they've added. I do know the app, to my knowledge, is bugged. It might be fixed now, but I think it was bugged on launch. And I'll explain what that bug was. So, this past Wednesday, the Warhammer app updated on Android only. So if you have iPhones, to my knowledge, you cannot update it yet. I found out that, so I wasn't able to use all those fun features and know everything about my army. The bug was whenever you attached a unit or a character to a unit, and then you deleted that character, the app was still trying to find that character it was attached to, and it ends up crashing. And even if you close the app and you reopen it, it would still crash. You had to fully delete the app and reinstall it to make it work again. Which, that is pretty... I say that's a pretty big blunder to have on your brand new updated app. You'd think they would have caught it, because people over in Europe and stuff... Oh, no. They got the box early, I believe. But I don't know if they've had the app early. But you'd think they would. Because if that group of people are getting it before everyone else, and if they're getting the box and stuff before everything else... I don't know if they do or not. They should. That's what I was like trying to say with... They should let, like, the European crowd... Well, they should quality test it first as a company. But then, if they're going to release it early to, like, the Europeans and stuff, then have that, like, first couple of days and stuff be where the bugs and stuff are kind of figured out. And then when you ship it to the US, it's still better. Not, that shouldn't be what they do, period. They should quality test it before it comes to us as a consumer in general. But it's like just one of those thoughts of why is your thing bugged? There's too much water on there now. I don't know if anyone at GW. I mean, yes, there are people at GW that do play the game, but I feel like the people that make the rules and do kind of send the stuff out, they don't actually play or test it. I think they should they should have a group of people that where they're like, hey, we want to run with like this particular rule and this particular rule, and have them play a few games with it. That people that are experienced to be like, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. It's like, this is going to be way too powered, or something like that. I feel like corporations had a... Oh, corporate had a hand in having it rushed. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things I think that get rushed from GW because money is what it boils down to, just money. It's still too wet. No. I try to re-water brush a little bit. There's this weird level with when you try the dry brush that you want it damp but not too damp. I got it perfect once so far. But I haven't been able to do it again. That's gonna be bad. I didn't get down. Okay, now I'll go in. Yeah, this shield's gonna be messed up, but I will try and fix it after. Yeah, that's not what I want to have happen. That is terrible. What's up, Light? I hope you're doing well this evening. Good to see you here. Yeah, it is. Sometimes I figure out, sometimes I don't. Like, it depends on so much. I've done totally dry as well, but I'm trying to think. Sometimes if it's too dry, it like cakes up on the brush and just doesn't make it. Then you aren't able to use it as long. Okay, I think this is where I want it to be. Flip this over and do this. Tomorrow. What am I thinking for tomorrow? Oh. I should do the community, but I also want to keep painting as well. No! Why do I have to make choices? Why can't I just, like, do two things at once? Yeah, it is sometimes the paint as well. This is going to be way brighter than it needs to be, but that is okay. I don't like it being that bright, but it can stay that bright. Okay. I should make a dry brush palette again. I did at one point, and it did actually help with a lot of stuff, but it's also like, eh. Yeah, this is like the... Why does it feel like the quality is getting worse and worse the more I do this? Is it just me? And let's do one of these. Downward strokes only. I will try that. Yeah, it probably should be the way I do it. Yeah, that made a lot of sense. Keep doing downward strokes. I treat this like more like a regular brush than what its actual thing is. Yeah, that's true. And I'm just responding to what Cara was saying. For organic things, apparently circles are best. I watched an artist's OPS tutorial a long time ago. I guess so. That would make sense too, because like, if it's a rounded spot, yeah, because some lights do go down in straight lines, but a lot of times it is like more circular. That, let's see how this looks. There we go. Well, thank you, Car. That was so simple. I should have been doing it, and I just wasn't. I'd like to get all the base colors. In a perfect world, all 5 of these are getting done tonight. But again, that's a perfect world. That's not happening. But we're gonna try getting all the base colors on this model and go from there. Easy part is the base color is just 2 colors mostly 2 colors. Also, thank God I don't have to paint this white. I think if I was to do that, I would have primed these like Wraithbone and all that. But luckily, that's not the color scheme I'm going for with these guys. Do you do regular, or do you do a different, do you do the regular Dragon Angels, or do you do a successor chapter. I don't know why that was so hard to say. I want a little bit more color here. Because all that cloth's going to turn blue. Ooh. You're just over halfway. Nice. What is in your list, Taylor? I'm sure you told us once before, but I'm curious. Going brighter's not a bad thing, because I've seen some people paint Dark Angels really dark, and I've seen some people do it... No, I've mostly seen them paint it really dark. But I didn't realize there was, like, so many variations of their color scheme as successor chapters. I haven't really heard anyone paint any of their successor chapters, really, though. I'd love to meet someone that does. Because I think they have some really interesting chapters. I probably should be one of those people, but I'm not going to be one of those people. I'll do my own color scheme. Thank you very much. That is a good, very good start. Arjak. It was Arjak that had the freaking precision on him. He gave Arjak and then he spent a stratagem to like precision out my two characters. That's what I remember. That doesn't sound like a bad list. I think you need some anti-tank in your list. You got plenty of like infantry killers and action guys. You just need some. You just need something that's gonna take out those tanks that you deal with on the field, or take out the. Yeah, it's a dangerous combo. Also, Space Wolves are the only Space Marines I've ever met that move a little bit faster. Dreadnought's good. You could go with Bjorn and get... Bjorn gets you an extra command point, each of your command phases. So that's a really good one to grab just for that, and he would sit on your home objective. Some people do a Gladiator Lancer, some people do a Ballistus Dread. I've seen one person do... It's a Rhino variant of the... Yeah, it's got the Rhino chassis. But it is... got like las cannons and stuff. You can build it as like a infantry killer or a las killer. What's up, France? Good to see you here. I hope you're doing well. I don't like how blurry this part is. If I didn't do it with a stand, would it be... No, if I did not... If I did no stand, it'd be better. I'm doing good. I'm ready for this new edition that's out. Got to play a game with this new edition. Ooh. I don't know what the Thunderwolf Cavalry does. But if they could set on your home objective and at least be tough enough to then have other stuff come out and get on there again. Oh. By technicality, I am a Dark Angel successor. Wow, that is fast. Because the regular Outrider bikes can move 12. That's an extra 4... No, that's an extra 6 inches of movement. I don't have an in-lore reason on why we got so much of this particular brand of Terminator plate. My reason is because I think it's cool and I like this model. So that's why it's in my army. But as for lore reasons, could always say it's one of the Space Hulks they collected. Had this Terminator armor, and that's why they have a lot of it, or from one of the many Hive Seas, all that stuff. Yes, Dark Angel's First Legion, but I think Bear was asking on why, like, why my chapter, if they're not a Dark Angel successor, has this style Terminator, because this type of Terminator plate is unique only to the Dark Angels, I believe. I'm not fully sure. But it should... I always go for a rule of cool. Because in my mind, whenever I decide to play another faction, I'm just going to use these as Assault Terminators. And just have fun with that. I mean, I do have a box of regular Assault Terminators, but I can just say these are Assault Terminators with Thunder Hammers. Or the Sword be the Claw guys. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Although when I build them, I try to take off all the Dark Angel-y bits. Magnetizing can be tricky. I did it with this unit, not these guys specifically, but with my other one, and the arms always fall off all the time. I'm glad I have the magnet so I can switch between the two, but it is finicky, and sometimes if you don't do it right, you'll mess up your magnets and you can't use a whole arm or head. It's definitely annoying. I definitely say it is annoying. That it can be. It certainly can be useful. Okay, last one I need to dry brush. You missed a bit, Ando. I'd say you missed a bit. Magnets with texture, so they don't Droop would be ideal. Oh, that would be interesting. Like a little bit like a locking form magnet. Like it almost clicks together so they don't slide about. I like that idea. That's a good idea. Do. I think with some of this I am not going to be able to use my speed paint. Like this guy, his arms are he's got a cool pose. Well, that's going to be hard for me to get this brush in there and hit the parts I want to hit. I'll give it a quick try, though. I think I need to get a different dry brush. I bought one that was smaller and harder bristles, but I don't know where it went. It's not the best. I really couldn't get a good downward angle on that. Hello, Taylor. Wait, where? Oh no, that's Tyler. Tyler. We got Taylor and a Tyler. How's it going this evening? I hope you are doing well. I am working on these Deathwing Knights currently, trying to get them all. Hopefully I can get all two colors I need on them. Ooh, nice. Big storm surge. I'm gonna look that up real quick because I'm curious. We're sidetracking real quick. Storm Surge. Ooh, big Tau model. That is a Tau with a big gun on the back. Now I know. Need to pick up some magnets for it before I complete it. Oh, so you can swap out between different guns. Nice. Very nice. Ooh. Now I'm thinking. Trying to think of the list I want to run for the Dagmire campaign GW is doing. Ooh. How many points? Okay. I will do a quick. So with 11th, The army is 1,940. I gotta mess with it a little bit. So it's no longer 2,000. Making sure you guys can still hear me. I have Azrael, Lieutenant with Combi Weapon, Regular Lieutenant, Judiciar, and Lionel Johnson. I have a 10-man squad of Hellblasters, 2 Deathwing Knights, a Scout Squad, a 6-man squad of Blade Guard, a 5-man Intercessor Squad, a squad of Outrider. Okay, painted. How many painted? Let's see. Outriders are painted, Scouts are painted, Intercessors are painted, 1 of the Deathwing Knights are painted, all the Hellblasters are painted, Lieutenant is painted, Judiciar is painted. That is 7? That's 7. And then I gotta do the Blade Guard. I gotta do touch up on the Deathwing Knight that I have currently on the table, and Outrider ATV, and the Lion and Azrael also need paint. So I got about 5. The Lion's the only one that will never fully be painted until we reach 1,000 subs, because I don't feel confident enough to paint the Lion decent. Could I do it now? Yes. When I first bought him? No. Because he was literally the 3rd model I bought when I got into this hobby. Was he the 3rd? No, he was the 4th. He was the 4th model. Tyler says, magnets are for both the interchangeable big gun and the front chassis, because it's very difficult to paint control panels if you glue it on. Yes, that is very true. So yeah, I hope I answered your thing, C4. It's been God, a few weeks of trying to get this all painted together. It took us 3 to 4 streams just to do 5 Hellblasters. And that's... yeah, that was a bit. It is. I want to do him justice so bad. I want to make sure he is exactly... I want to do him justice. I want him to look magnificent and glory and make him really be that Primarch on the battlefield that he is. I'm happy he dropped down quite a bit of points. I will say the thing that I don't like about 11th is they changed my fight first. I had 2 models would fight first, and now it's like I don't get to do anything with fights first. Yes, I have done sponging before. It probably would work on these. Yes. I've sponged Space Marines and made it look okay. I usually do with vehicles. Vehicles I do airbrushing or sponging with if I have to. Oh, I also got to do the Gladiator Lancer needs to be finished up. That's another model. The best sponging I've ever done was on a Redemptor Dreadnought that you guys have seen. His orange panels and stuff like that were fully sponged, and then I just did with a brush a little bit of an edge highlight, and that is the best I've ever done with sponging. But now I gotta touch up his knee. Let me get him real quick. Where did I put him actually? Oh, I put him on the shelf. So, this is the best sponging I have... Wow, that went really orange really fast. Okay, this is the best sponging I've ever done on a model. In person, it looks a lot better than what you can see here. I need to touch up his knee and right there a little bit. because some paint has come off on the legs right there. And on the front of his knee, it's come off. So I might take a sponge and like dab that a little bit, and I can take a brush and I can edge highlight that. Because I want to chill here. That's why. Hit you with a bionicle feeling? Ooh, I never thought about that. Oh. Can you guys still hear me? Cool. I think. Colors hit me with a bionicle feeling, but I know it's your colors. Honestly, I will take that as a compliment. It's better. I'd rather be known for having bionicle Marines than looking like Kraft mac and cheese. Like a box of Kraft mac and cheese. Good, good. There was one stream where I would have kept going, but literally the audio cut out, and I was talking and responding to people, but no one heard me for like 20 minutes. Oh, it's okay, Dread. Well, now you can't see the... Well, see, no, here's the thing. It's only if I do a bright orange-yellow. So, like, this guy, a little bit, the Hellblasters I did before, looked at really hard, but I've changed the orange that I am using. I'm using a orange speed paint, and it looks red on this model, but this is a very dark orange. So just to show that off, it now looks more like this. I know on camera it looks very red, but I promise you it is not red. Ooh, is the Armageddon box a good start to a Black Templar army? The Space Marine half? Yes, I would say yes. But if you want to have a pure Black Templar, go with the Combat Patrol. That's a bit better and would be cheaper than just buying the Armageddon box, because the Armageddon box for here in the US, at least what I paid for it, was $311. I think the store added like $11 on top for what they did, but again, that's for a full box. That's orcs, the book, all that stuff. Do I still think it's a deal? Yes, but it is a lot of money to drop onto it. So, to go back to the regular point, yes, it is a good start. Okay, so then yes, I'd say the Armageddon box is perfect for anyone starting, because it's meant to be a good variety starting box. I actually looked at the orc models today because I gave the orc half to somebody. Yeah. 250 on Amazon. Ooh. Yeah, I know I could have gotten it for cheaper. Okay, I went to my local game store, got on the pre-order list. Then, like, a week before I knew it was going to come out, my friends that actually run a game store that's further away were like, oh yeah, we're getting, like, a case of it as well. And I get a discount from them when I buy from them. And I could have gone in there, and I'm like, well, I would have happily bought from you guys, but the problem is that I'm already on a pre-order list somewhere else. Yeah, I understand that, C4. Funny enough, I started with 3D printing, and now I got interested in Warhammer, and I keep asking myself, how is it so expensive? If you come up with an answer, let me know, because I want to know. I know it's slightly cheaper in Europe, and the keyword is slightly, not by much. I was actually talking with someone who used to live in Spain, and they're like, it's a little bit cheaper, but not by much, because you have to like convert American into all that. He was like, yeah, the answer is money. It is very much money. I would love if GW made a production facility here in the US so that we could get things a little bit quicker. I think it would be awesome if they could do that. Will they? Probably not. Okay. That is the gray done. I'm now going to move over to doing the white. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I was talking with, there's stop motion on YouTube, but Paint is what I know them as. And they explained, like, or they told me the difference as well, and it was... I was like, why? Oh, that's not a bad thing to do at all. Gotta go fast. Because having them sit on your shelf looking good, nothing wrong with that. I much prefer painting over the other parts of the hobby. I only play the game because I have them sitting on the shelf and all that stuff. eBay is a great place to get it if you're on a budget. I found plenty of Guard / Chaos / Tau on there for quite cheap, including the Storm Surge for 100, Breachers for 19, Crisis Suit for 45, etc. Yes, you can find cheap stuff on eBay. Usually what you gotta keep in mind is if you buy lot stuff, so like buying whole armies, yeah, you're spending $500, $600 on a bunch of models, but if you compare that to what you would spend at GW for the whole army, then it makes it cheaper. But you're still dropping that much cash to buy all those models, so do keep that in mind. Amazon, yes, you do get a bit of a discount on models. It's like a 15-20% discount. I used to buy models off of Facebook Marketplace and try to resell them on eBay. And you can do it. You just have to sit and kind of like wait for the right deal to pop up, buy it, and then turn around and sell it for like pretty much Amazon prices. And the best option for that is buying like things that are still in box. It is not worth it in the long run. Yeah, Facebook. So C4 is right too. Facebook Marketplace is another good one. I found some good there's a Space Marine army that if I was to restart, that would be an army that I would buy. It's already painted and everything, so I could just run it as is. All that streamer's saying, yes, I am that streamer. Yeah, some game stores, they do charge more than I think they need to. I was actually able to see like how much a game store is, like what the game store pays for the box, and then what they sell it as. There is a difference. So if you are a game store, you're buying it at the discount price that you see on eBay and stuff like that. Like, you're getting it for that 15-20% discount, but then you need to sell it at the price GW has so that you make a profit. That's GW's business plan with them. It's just, it's weirdly, like, I feel scummy. It feels scummy, like, seeing that's how it is. But that's also, like, what stores do anyways. Like, my parents used to run a grain and feed store, and we had a price that we paid for, and then a suggested retail price. And sometimes we went with the suggested retail, sometimes we did our own, and sometimes it was cheaper and sometimes it was higher. And we'd make like a little bit of profit on stuff, but not much. Yeah, Magic the Gathering is one of those where you can make a business from it a lot better than a Warhammer one. That's what my friend's game store started as, or still is a Magic the Gathering store, and now it's a game store second. Tyler said earlier, a lot of stuff is nice depending on what you like. About the Hobby 2, add in NOS or NIB. For a lot of that, you can still build/paint. But if you don't care, then y'all can find a much cheaper affordable army. Yes. And then C4 said, this workplace is nice, but you need to find out who is the person. Yep, not scamming you. And then, I already went over that before. C4 then said, but I could say the same for eBay, as is being a waiting game for both are logical and require for you to be very knowledgeable about what you're getting. You should not just jump. Yeah. Then go back to what Tyler said. Your store is super cool though. First floor is half Magic the Gathering, playing tables, and half store. And then there's a dungeon where 40k D&D players get to play. Oh, that sounds so cool! Having like a whole, like whole aesthetic room for stuff like that. Oh, I love that. I think more stores need to have like a themed game room for certain stuff. Like if I'm going and I'm playing Warhammer, I want to see like some Warhammer stuff up on the wall. I want to see like a Tyranid head up there. Some other little cool things. Like if there's people that like make props and stuff like that in the area, they should, like the game stores should be like, we're looking for someone that can make some Warhammer stuff, and we want to put it up. And they're like, cool, I'm a person, I made this. And they're like, cool, and they put it up, and if they have a business, then they can advertise that business. Yeah, I understand that's like what you meant as like it's a basement and it's like a storage facility. But doesn't mean you can't like theme it a little bit. I know with my local game store, they have like a shelf with the terrain and everything on it. And then they have a... Oh, that's too much. They have like a little bit of theme stuff, but not a lot. I mean, they got some posters, but I'd love to see more. It's like if I ever get a room that is just for wargaming and all that, I'm gonna deck it out. I'm gonna deck out a whole like war room, D&D game room. It's gonna be so nice. Yeah. See, Gotta Go Fast has the right idea. Ooh, I like that. The little like custom like snack holder tables. Yeah. Trying not to add too much white to where I've already done gray. I want the white just to be like a highlight. That's like the brightest spot that everything's going on. Yeah, you got it. You go over there. C4 says, for me to not have snacks near the wargame table, but drinks are fine. Yeah, that's true. Cheeto dust, all that stuff. Then Gotta Go Fast says, might do a mixture of Lego and different models on a round table. And a can in the middle to go crazy. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Okay, I guess I might have a game for Saturday. Or not Saturday, Sunday. Oh, wait a minute. When is the Dagmire thing happening? That's happening like 2 days after release, right? Damn, I could have my first game of like 11th be against Space Wolves. Oh, that would have been fun, but no. Yeah, I gotta get my app and log into the Dagmire thing, because I am gonna run that and go from there. Also, if Rad, you're still here, I would love to give some suggestions to maybe some models that you could get for your army, if you are open to that. If not, that is fine. I also kind of want to hear what you plan for your army. I like Black Templars, and I don't get to meet many Black Templar players. And especially if you and your girlfriend are going like Orcs and Black Templar, that's just really good thematically. Gotta Go Fast says, I want to buy a Lego Star Wars Jabba floating palace that you got for Christmas as a kid. Ooh. Yeah, build that up. Honestly, I think it'd be fun to take Legos and make them into terrain pieces for like a 40k game. Or like any wargame table in general. I think that would be really cool. I don't know how well that would work, but yeah. Gotta Go Fast says, your orcs have red skin and have blue and black and brown colors on the armor. Ooh. That sounds very interesting. So it's a little fungal deviation from green. I know there's one creator talks about their friend that has like blue orcs and stuff like that. So that, I like hearing about these different colored orcs. Is a lot of people do green skin and like different color armor to show what group they're part of. But honestly, changing their skin color and stuff, I think that's freaking gnarly. For the music. Gotta Go Fast says, to be honest, when I bought them, I knew next to nothing on Warhammer. Just thought they were cool. Still know very little. That is fine. You don't really need to know a whole lot in Warhammer, to be honest. If you just enjoy painting and playing and just enjoy the hobby in general, I think that's more than enough. If you want to deep dive into it, there are plenty of books. There are plenty of channels and just people with so much knowledge out there that you can collect from. Actually, I just finished watching some stuff from Dystopian Chimp about the inner workings of a hive city. Sometimes he's talked about video or things on like agri worlds or feudal worlds and all stuff. Like it's a very broad spectrum, but it covers like enough to be like, oh, if I'm like homebrewing or I want to get an idea for like a setting, there's enough information there to kind of like learn about or build something from. That's what I'm looking for. But there's also, it's also entertaining just to like learn more about it and get your mindset into that universe. Tyler says, go watch Crack Duck. He makes super engaging videos that help easily understand 40k lore, not just boring 2-hour videos. I will have to check that out. What paint do you use? I bought a non-settle paint I like a lot better and has the same colors. I use Army Painter. Gotta Go Fast. I like the brand Army Painter a lot more. It has more colors than Citadel, in my opinion. So like on their bottles, they'll have like a color range. So this is the black and gray color range, and it'll show like the darkest color and then the brightest color. So if you're painting like a certain armor and you don't want to mix your paints and stuff like that, and you just want to layer it, you could just use these colors. And this should, in theory, go from like a black all the way to the white if you had all these colors. Ando, Okay, okay, this is for all the new viewers here. Hypothetical situation. You are a lictor, and you have been assigned to kill a demon Prince Angron. How would you do it? This question again? I mean, fair. It is to the new people, so... Tyler says, run to the greater good. And then Gotta Go Fast says, I got a Nick Pro model paint. It has 36 different colors. Ooh. I think I've heard that. I think I've heard of that brand before. I don't think there's any brand of paint you could go wrong with. I know some people still use craft paints and all that for the models. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can use Citadel, you can use that. This is starting to get a little bit chalky. I'm gonna wipe off this brush and give it a sec. We're gonna take a bit and get this brush nice and cleaned off and get all the water off it. So I don't want that all there. I am painting up a Dark Angel model called a Deathwing Knight. It is a unique Terminator model for the Dark Angels. I don't like that ending. I don't like how you describe that at all, Tyler. You're gonna confuse people so much. Okay. Tyler just said, and this is directed to Gotta Go Fast, which I know they just responded. Say in the terrifying 40k universe, an alien species offers you a life where you can actually eat real food, not die in 7 hours, only catches, get a vasectomy right away. And then he asked, you join, question mark? That is, I guess that is a basic form of the Tau. That is very simple. I'm not joining because I don't want a vasectomy. Also, I found out, like, yes, Hive cities suck, but they're actually not as bad as people think. Again, Hive cities still suck. Do not live in a Hive city. But not... There's a book actually called Hive that, like, explains life in a Hive city. And I found out about that today through that YouTuber I talked about earlier. And now I forget his name. I think it's Atomic Chimp. And I was like, okay, this actually makes a lot more sense on, like, living in a hive, how things go. I'm not joining the Tyranids either. I don't want to be turned into biomass to a bunch of bugs. Leave me the goddamn alone. That's how I feel. children get turned into biomass? No. Leave the kids alone. I do understand this is all good fun. I know I sound aggressive, and I'm not trying to be. It's just... Yeah, it really does. That's why the choice is you don't live. That's why you just don't live in the 40k universe. But also, like, not every planet in the 40k universe deals with the stuff that we read about in books. You might live on a planet and live your whole life never dealing with Xenos, never living a bad life, never, like, see the Imperium. You just go to work, pay your taxes, live your life, live for like 70 years, and then you die. That's a good life. That's a good, respectable life in the 40k universe. Well, no, that's again what I said. You never see the Imperium. You never deal with chaos. You never deal with anything. There's some planets like that just live their life like that. There is no dreadnought pointing a gun at you. It only happens if someone screws up on your thing. And most likely, the people that screwed up kind of deserved it. They're like bug reptiles, pretty much. All good fast. Enjoy your time and all that stuff. I hope you make some bomb-ass food. The tower fish. I believe it's joked that tower just fish people. Also, I think crew are more, I mean, they're more bird-like. I'd consider them more dinosaur, if anything. Okay. A fish... If a fish walks on land over, like, a couple thousand years, it could evolve hooves. I will say, Tyler, dinosaurs are birds, or birds are dinosaurs, more apt. So I'm gonna call Kroot dinosaurs. They are the dinosaurs of 40K. Okay, Bear says, but the Tau aren't even communists. They have a caste system. Are the Tau socialist? I don't know politics that well. Okay, in 40K, I'm just asking about with the Tau. Where do they land? What is the proper name for what they are as a government? We're not going into our actual real world politics. I'm asking about the Tau. This is the only time I will allow politics on this channel. And then Kitty said, though, how much do they as a voluntary association, and how much is programmed or mind controlled is vague and up to the writer. And then Kitty said, this is on for the Tau caste system. I don't even know how to pronounce what you said, Bear. Kitty said, they're vaguely communist coded. Their ideology is very collectivist and authoritarian, though yes, they do have a caste system. Hi, Roy. What are you doing? You barging in here? You being a big boy? You being a big bean? Came in here for your head pats? What a good boy. What a good boy. I love the bean. The bean's a good boy. Bean, 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 bean. Bean, 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 bean. Bean, bean. I guess so, Tyler. That's not really a life that I want to live my life by my choice, not for some other group. At least that's how I look at it. Anyway, I'm done with the dry brushing. I'm now going to move over to actually painting. We'll see how well it works. So, the two main colors I'm going to use are Grim Black Speed Paint and Magic Blue Speed Paint, both from Army Painter. This is just for speed. I can choose. I might end up using acrylic paint or actual paint and all that stuff. Can I give who green skin? Who are you asking that I give green skin to? Where on this model do you want me to put green skin? There is nowhere on this model where there's any skin. But the answer is going to be no. I'm not going to put green skin anywhere on this guy because there's nowhere to put it. Nor does that not match the scheme I'm going with. Put on skin Nightlord style? That is atrocious. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but I don't want to think about the skin cape again. I don't like skin cape. I've had to paint it once and I don't want to do it ever again. I am surrounded by Xenos and heretics. Where is the Imperium when I need them the most? Why do I not like doing the skin cape stuff? It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like, I don't like painting it. It's okay with an actual face and stuff. Okay, to actually get this looking not so blurry. Oh yay! That actually works. I dislike some of them. It's more like when I paint it. Okay. I don't have the model here. I've done a skin cape before for a Master of Execution. And I don't dislike a lot of the Chaos models. Actually, funny enough, I want to paint up Nightlords as a Chaos, like, army, a very small one. So I don't ingrainedly hate it. It's just depending on how it's presented. I really don't like it. Like, it could be very bloody and look too realistic, and I'm like, I don't like that at all. Oh, excuse me. Like, trying to think on how to, like, good skin, like that style, should make you feel uncomfortable, is how I look at it. So, in a way, as much as I don't like to see and look at it, I know it did its job if I dislike it a little bit for just being a cape made of skin. Also, Ando's the reason why I don't like Skin Cape either. He comes in and he says stuff like that. He says, oh, I just get hungry when I look at Skin Cape. What? As much as I want to collab with other creators, I am terrified that this community is going to be a hindrance for me. I love you guys. I really do love you as a community, and I'm very appreciative of you. But I feel like if we ever go to someone else's community and you guys go in and you say like a quarter of the stuff that you might say, I'm never going to hear from that person again. But I do understand you guys also joke at the same time. Except for one of you. One of you I don't think are joking. You're not here currently. Or maybe you are and you're lurking. If you're here and you're lurking... please, don't bring up mouse history. We don't need to go over the amount of, like, war crimes you say mouse has done. Yeah, at one point there was no mouse. I only added mouse because I wanted to give you guys a little mascot, and you guys for some reason were like, "Oh, this is a war criminal." I don't know where you get your ideas from. Okay, I'm gonna swap out. Yeah, we're gonna put away this mouse. This mouse! You call this thing a war criminal. The depths of the word mostly. Oh, Lord. Oh, that mouse has seen some things. Did I draw it that bad that it looks like it's got trauma? I was trying to make him cute. Is my style that bad? It's just like, oh, that thing has trauma. That thing has PTSD. Well, welcome, Octopus. We try to be a little unique at the end of the day. I don't want a boring community. I like that you guys are these weird little... just weirdos. I love it. And a lot of times, I'm going to play things up for jokes. Yeah, I fully drew all... I drew all that. I didn't want to steal anything off of the internet. I wanted to be my own little creation, so I made my own PNG tuber thing that bounced up down and the little mascot. Because I do have a drawing pad. I used to draw back in high school. Not good. I'd love to do more art. I want to make my own VTuber model, but I think I need to update my PNG model a bit. gonna cut the music because an ad's about to play. But yeah, a lot of times I'm gonna play things up as a joke because it just gets you guys going, and then you guys come up with weirder stuff, and then it's just a feedback loop. This is a big feedback loop by the end of it. Quickly go here, and then oh, what's up, Eternal? What is my favorite Legion? Ooh, so I have four. I have four favorites. I'm gonna switch mouse out again real quick. So, my four favorites are Dark Angels, Iron Warriors, Salamanders, and Space Wolves. Those are the four that I like the most. I don't know a lot of the history in 30K. I want to learn their 30K history. I've read like one book with the Dark Angels in 30K, and it was before the Heresy. And it was okay. I didn't really enjoy it. Ooh, the Saturday box is Iron Warriors. Nice. Like, I'm tempted to do Iron Warriors for a 30K army. I thought about doing Chaos as Iron Warriors. I haven't read much on Iron Warriors. The main thing that I like about Iron Warriors is the mindset of, you put a task in front of us, we will bitch and complain, but we'll get the job done. Because that's how I am at work. At work, I will bitch and complain about the task, but I will get it done. Also, I do kind of understand why. I mean, Perturabo has a stick up his butt, is the best way I can put it. And he really needs to, like, let go of some of the stuff he's got going on. Because a lot of what happened to him is his own fault. He put it on himself. I think the only one I truly feel bad for is is Angron. But again, I don't know their history that well, so I'm going off of, like, really small snippets. But Angron was a slave that lost his true family to the uprising, and he had to watch them die while he was on a spaceship from above, surrounded by people that could easily defeat the people that he was fighting against. I understand why Angron is the way he is. Also, the butcher nails. Or, yeah, the butcher's nails. Terrible, disgusting thing. They had no technology that they could use to, like, remove it. I don't know if there was a story somewhere where there was, like, we do have the technology, but the Emperor was just like, I don't need him to be perfect, I just need him to be a tool. Which, if Angron is meant to be the Emperor's compassion, I think that just kind of shows how much compassion the Emperor truly does have. I do like your Helbrecht. It always astonishes me that Helbrecht has more of a bronzy brass color armor. So seeing it done in non-metallic metal is really cool. That they are. Although, Kitty, I will call it your swearing. I do agree with your wording, but please, we never know if we have a child or not. Even though these streams are not kid-friendly, these are not kid-friendly streams, I still want to treat it as we are, like, that there's, like, young people in here. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you. Like I said, your wording is fully correct. Well, you are trying for the first time, and treat it like every other non-metallic metal you've ever done. It doesn't, like, you know how non-metallic metal is supposed to be done. You've done it on a few models already. I mean, true. I'm thinking back to, like, when I was in middle school and stuff, and the type of things that we started doing, or that was said. I'm like, how I'm treating this community, or at least the way I word things, is, yeah. Honestly, I don't know how to describe what you came back to. I think... Oh, no, I gotta do black on the shield. I mean, what do you need to know specifically? Gotta go fast. Yes, I do. I do have an all-time favorite model. I will grab it in a moment. I still have it sitting on my desk. Actually, I have two. Yeah, Eternal's really good at doing non-metallic metal. I think out of this community, they are one of the like top 3 or top 5 or top 3 like best painters in my community. Oh, which... Oh, I have some rules in my stream that I try to enforce. One of those is like... Am I not? I'm talking. Hello. Yeah, I see it going up. To summarize it, there's some rules I have for stream, and I like to try and enforce them. The simple answer is I never know when we have someone that is of underage and shouldn't be hearing some of the stuff that I might talk about. Like, okay, what if we're talking about drugs or something that's a little bit more adult, something that YouTube would not find okay. I mean, okay, that's what's going to boil it down to. To be fully honest, a lot of what I have for rules and guidelines, I try because I don't want to be banned off YouTube. So I then think of it as like, okay, we got like a bunch of like 5-year-olds in this community, and if we say like one thing wrong or we talk about something that's not supposed to be spoken of, the whole channel's gone. That's what it summarizes as. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know what the algorithm's line is with the whole, like, what's allowed, what's not allowed, it bebops back and forth. So I'm making a line that is higher up than probably what it needs to be. Yeah. Also, I want to be a friendly, welcoming, like, community in general on here. Because I've met some really nice people when I got into this. Like, when I got into this hobby, I've met the nicest people playing this game. And I find that astonishing because it's Warhammer. Warhammer's not a nice world setting. Okay, Mouse did not do that. No, Mouse did not do that, Tyler. Mouse probably did steal Ando's girlfriend. That part I do believe. Honestly, like how Trazen has a list of items that are in his gallery, Mouse has a list of stuff that he has done. And chat, you grow it by like 5 things every time. Yeah. This is the part we're starting to stream a little bit later. It is 10 o'clock. I'm tired. And I want to keep painting. But I should also get rest. Because I plan on streaming again tomorrow. And I have work in the morning. Why does it take me 2 hours to dry brush everything and now I'm getting around to painting? Rest is for the weak. Well, I am weak. Oh, I meant to do this earlier. For those are new, and no, I'm just a head in the corner. Boop, I'm gonna get out of the ground, and I'll sit right here. Okay, hello. It is me. It is I. Wait, Ando, aren't you from Germany? Isn't it like something in the morning for you? Like AM style morning? Rest is for the weak, and you are in a time zone that's later for me. Get some freaking rest. Well, on that, I am actually going to call it here for the night. I probably should. Tomorrow will be it's up in the air. Oh, you're from America, but you're mostly German. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking you were currently living in Germany, but oh well. Having a job that's crazy talk. Yeah, but how else am I supposed to afford like 3,000 points of just Space Marines and a bunch of another 1,000 points and then the Armageddon box? Like, I gotta make the money come in somewhere. I'm not asking you guys. Even though I do have a Ko-Fi account that people can donate to. You don't need to do that. I just get on here to be silly. But I got a little spiel, and then I'm going to call it, and then we'll go from there. which tomorrow I am debating. It is going to either be another continuation of this painting, or I'd like to play a game with chat as well. And I'm thinking we do the game Battle Golf, but I'm not sure how that will go. I will say with Battle Golf, it does have a it does have a chat, like an actual voice thing. So if people do join, they need to be cautious what they say and all that. But I'm going to trust you guys, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, little spiel. First off, if you enjoy the content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I try to stream 3 times a week, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's iffy depending on my mood and my energy level on how long I usually go. If you want to be a part of the community and share the models or hobbies that you have and that you make, there is a Discord in the video and channel description. It is completely free to join, and it's not just Warhammer. Any hobby you're into, I want to hear about it and learn about it. Like, it's not just Warhammer and painting I'm into. I'm also into carpentry that I want to do eventually on the channel. I want to get into prop making. I want to get into blacksmithing again. It's all stuff I want to show here on the channel. I just got to take the time to do it. And if you got any hobbies like that, I want to see you do it, and I want to, hear about it. Also, I did say this earlier, but if you want to support the channel in a more monetary sense, there is a Ko-Fi account or Coffee account you can donate to. Everything you donate there goes directly back into the channel. It works on getting upgrades for equipment, materials, or hiring an editor for videos. But with that all being said, you don't have to do any of that. Just having you here, being a part of the community, or lurking and watching is more than enough. I get on here to be a silly little goober and to ruin Eternal's day when I'm ending stream. So, with that all being said, I want you to go out there and make something awesome. I know you will.